Hi everyone, this is Cheryl from Cheryl and Now. I had quite the day in my life of aging and retirement yesterday. I worked out in my yard as I typically do this time of year, and I ended up messing up my back. So I decided, since this channel is about my daily happenings as a retired aging person, and this is what happened in my day, I would do a video about what we can do to guard our backs and maybe keep them from getting sore as we work in our yards, because so many of us enjoy doing that, especially in the spring or the fall, maybe when the weather's nice, or maybe you live in a climate where the weather's always nice and you enjoy doing it all the time. I researched on how to protect our backs and keep them from getting sore while working in our yards, so we don't have this problem of getting up and down when we finish, like I've had. I mean, once I'm up and walking, I'm fine, but if I sit down and try to get back up, that's where the hard part comes in. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself because some of these things I already knew. First of all, you are supposed to make sure you stretch your back. Even while you're working, you should take breaks and stretch your back and keep those muscles loosened up, especially in your lower back. And one of the exercises you should do is what we call cat dogs. Cat dogs, and it's, and I'm posting a picture here. It's a yoga pose where you get down on all fours and you'll raise your back and then you lower your back, and it really stretches those back muscles. And another exercise you can do is you can lie on your back and just pull your knees up to your chest. And that will stretch those lower back muscles. If I weren't doing cat dogs, sometimes I will just stand against a wall and put my heels to the wall and push my back into the wall. And that will stretch my back muscles too. So I have done that before when my back has been sore. So I'm kind of proud of myself for knowing that one. Another thing you should do to keep yourself healthy and your back healthy is to stay hydrated. I've been really good at staying hydrated. And I typically drink 64 ounces of water a day, which is a half a gallon of water. And I do it because I have kidney disease, and that is what my nephrologist has told me to drink, is a half a gallon of water. And they tell me don't drink any more than that, because if you drink too much water, it's not good for you either, but that I should drink that amount of water. So being hydrated, I'm sure, has helped me. The hard part about drinking that water right now is getting up to get the water. But once I'm up, I'm fine. A third thing we can do is to use proper lifting techniques. Bend at your knees and not at your waist, which has been hard for me. In fact, yesterday I was moving some concrete blocks, and I had to talk to myself. Bend at your knees, Sherry. Don't bend at your waist. Because I have bad knees. So, it's hard for me to bend at my knees, but I did it. I just had to keep reminding myself to bend at my knees and not at my waist. So I feel like I did a lot of the right things, and my back was still really sore when I got inside. But remember to do that. Bend at your knees and not at your waist. A fourth thing we can do is to use a soft kneeling pad or wear knee pads. I wish I had knee pads, and I need to get some. It would make it easier, but I do have a kneeling pad. The problem is that I'm not always down pulling the weeds or whatever. Sometimes I use hand tools, or one that I can stand up and use. So, but when I can kneel is nice, because I can do those cat dogs while I'm down in that position and stretch my back while I'm in that position. So it's really, really nice when I can do that. So use a soft kneeling pad or wear knee pads when you're down on the ground pulling weeds or whatever it is that you're doing. Another thing we can do as seniors is to use ergonomic garden tools. And I didn't know there was such a thing. But I guess they fit our hands differently. They are formed differently so that they are more easily used by seniors to pull weeds and do other garden tasks to make our jobs easier and help our backs to not get so sore, and actually help our hands, like if we have arthritis or something like that. So I'm going to check on these. I actually did yesterday. I don't typically use long-handled garden tools when I'm weeding. I just get down on my hands and knees and use my hands to pull out all the leaves and all the weeds and everything, and then I'll stand up and pick it all up and put it in the trash bin to get rid of. But yesterday I went and got the long-handled rake out, and I got the hoe, and I did it that way because I knew I needed to protect my back. And I thought I was doing the right thing, but evidently I wasn't doing something right, because by the time I got in the house, my back was so bad. So I am going to check for the ergonomic garden tools and get me some and see if that makes a difference. So the Cleveland Clinic, which I use quite a bit when I'm researching and wanting to find information, suggests these 4 things, or summarizes with these 4 things. First, warm up. So stretch your back before you go out and get warmed up. And then the second thing, focus on your form. Stand upright when you're using the tools. Don't bend over or hunch over, because then you're curving your back and puts the focus more on the lower back. So when you stand upright, it's spreading it out more. And the third thing, switch things up. You should do that one activity for no more than 20 minutes. Because if you're staying in the same position for too long, then your back gets kinked up and it can get really sore. So stay in that same position no more than 20 minutes, and then maybe go walk around the yard or do another activity for a little while before you go back to it. Like I walk, and I can go for a walk and not get sore at all. But when I go out to work in the garden, it's totally different kind of work, and my back does get sore. I'm doing it for a longer amount of time. I'm not used to it. So I need to do it in small amounts of time. And the last thing is to maximize the tools. Use the tools that you have. Use your knee pads, use your kneeling pads, use your hand tools, use your carts to move things around. And if we do all these things, then hopefully we can keep on gardening happily, clear into our more elderly years. I mean, I hope to keep doing it for a long, long time, because it's my happy place out in the yard with the dirt and my flowers. And I used to garden vegetables. I don't do that so much anymore. We have too many squirrels that like to eat too many things. So I pretty much stick to flowers anymore, and I'm happy with that. This has been very frustrating for me as an elderly person and an aging person, not being able to keep up with what I used to keep up with when I was younger in my yard, because it's always been one of my very favorite things. So those are my suggestions, and that's what I found that hopefully will be helpful. It's just been progressively getting harder for me throughout the years, but this is the worst it's been for me. I wonder, do you have any suggestions? I would like to hear them, so please comment any suggestions that you have for working with your aging body. You know, our minds still want those pretty things. Our minds are still telling us we can do this, but our bodies sometimes have different ideas. So give me your ideas. I would love to hear them. And no matter what our bodies are telling us to do, I'm going to keep on shining, and I hope that you do too. Because even though we're aging, we can still shine. Have a great day.